And in a proposed amicus brief to Bragg's lawsuit, a number of prominent lawyers, former members of Congress and former prosecutors added, quote, "The attempted congressional interference in this case is an outrageous and unprecedented overreach that should be swiftly rejected." Congressman Adam Schiff is a Democrat of California. He serves as a senior member of the Judiciary Committee. He's a candidate for the Senate in 2024, and he joins me now. Congressman, it's great to see you again. Thanks for making time for us on this, what appeared to be a bit of a clown show, I would have to say. You were in the room today. What was your takeaway from this hearing?
Well, Jim Jordan took the circus out on the road. That's exactly what it was. They wanted people to believe that this hastily called hearing that was just coincidentally taking place in Manhattan had nothing to do with the prosecution of Donald Trump. It was absurd, but I would imagine their own lawyers have told them that this kind of stunt just hurts their case in terms of their effort to interfere with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, their subpoenas. It just shows what a political stunt, and there's no legislative purpose involved. So they're not only hurting their legal cause, but they're really doing what they've done for years now, which is try to serve as Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyers. And as I pointed out during the hearing, Donald Trump's got plenty of criminal defense lawyers with the various investigations. He's going to need them, but he doesn't need our committee to act like his criminal law firm, and nor is that our responsibility. What Jim Jordan did today was a vain attempt to interfere with the prosecution. It didn't succeed, but it's just tragic that the Judiciary Committee would be abused this way to try to undermine the rule of law, not further it.
And I genuinely applaud Democrats for showing up and attending this thing because, I mean, you could have sat this one out. But to your credit, Democrats actually called witnesses today. And I want to play one soundbite from one of the witnesses that was called. Watch this.
Violent crime is going down in New York City, according to law enforcement's own data. However, we could be doing so much more to ensure that New Yorkers are protected and all Americans are protected by enacting comprehensive universal background checks, by having a licensing system and requiring a permit to purchase. We could also be banning the assault weapons that are most commonly used in mass shootings that are killing our children every day.
It seems, Congressman, like Republicans very eager to talk about crime until the topic turns to guns and mass shootings.
Well, that's exactly right. This hearing was a travesty in two respects. One, it was an effort to undermine the rule of law and to put Donald Trump above the law. But second, it was such a diversion from the productive things we could be doing, like addressing the scourge of gun violence. Every day there are shootings, almost every day, sometimes every week there are mass shootings. And we can do something about it. This is the thing. It's not like there aren't laws that would be effective in curbing gun violence. Just as the witness said, universal background checks, a ban on assault weapons, a ban on extended ammunition clips. There are so many things that we could do to save the lives of our children, and that the Judiciary Committee would be wasting its time in the way we did today, and at taxpayer expense is just unconscionable.
Where do you think it goes from here, Congressman? What are you expecting to see from Chairman Jordan and this committee under his leadership?
Well, in terms of Donald Trump, more of the same, tragically. This all got started, I think, when Trump's defense lawyers asked the Congress, asked the Republicans like Jim Jordan to interfere, to investigate the Manhattan DA. And so I think we're just going to see a series of escalations as the prosecution gets underway, more efforts to undermine the principle that no one is above the law. But also, I think in terms of what the committee should be focused on, we'll get nothing done of value in terms of attacking the problem of gun safety. We'll get nothing done of value in terms of dealing with public safety concerns, figuring out how to better engage in community policing, because the agenda for Jim Jordan is quite different than that.
Can you, Congressman, explain, and I know that there was a group of former prosecutors and members of Congress who called the actions of the committee under this Republican leadership right now outrageous and unprecedented, but can you explain why exactly the Judiciary Committee does not have oversight over a local district attorney like Alvin Bragg?
Absolutely, and I served as a federal prosecutor for almost 6 years. This is unprecedented. You never have a situation where the Congress of the United States decides that a local prosecutor is engaged in a case that Congress doesn't like, and therefore Congress is going to investigate the prosecutor. That never happens because there's a separation of powers and a separation of responsibilities. Local authorities have the power to enforce local and state laws, and the Congress has no jurisdiction, no power to interfere with that. We have a responsibility when it comes to enforcement of federal law. We can decide what federal agents and federal prosecutors should prioritize, but even we shouldn't get involved in specific cases that are federal, but we should never get involved in a local prosecution, and particularly here where a very important principle is at stake, and that is, does the law apply to the rich and powerful as it applies to ordinary citizens? And the case that we were making today is it's a strength of democracy that the same process, the same jury trial, the same requirement of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, the same kind of a jury of ordinary citizens will adjudicate the guilt of Donald Trump just as it would his lawyer, Michael Cohen, just as it would his doorman or his neighbor. That's a strength of democracy. It's not a weakness.
Yeah, it's certainly a hallmark of our democracy, but certainly one that is being tested by these Republicans. Congressman Adam Schiff, it's always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tim Miller is a former RNC